This is our home for the night. We've been on so many incredible adventures, but for the first time ever, we are completely 100% off the grid. Don't worry, we're going to give you a full tour of our yurt, our bathroom yurt, the entire lay of the land of this off-grid magical place. But earlier today, we have already done some incredible adventures. We have seen something that should definitely be on your bucket list. It probably isn't yet.
This morning we are leaving Presidio, which is on the west side of Big Bend State Park. We're driving all the way through the state park into the national park. We are 98 miles away from Big Bend National Park's headquarters. To give you a little context, we're about 2 hours and 40 minutes away from the destination, the Santa Elena Canyon trailhead. Big Bend is huge, 1,800 square miles, the state park being 600 square miles, the national park twice as big, 1,200 square miles of untamed wilderness. We're obviously not going to see it all today, but we are going to see as much as we possibly can in the time we have. But for now, we got a lot of driving to do. I said we, she.
Yeah, a little shout out to your chauffeur.
She drives, I film, okay? That's how this works. Pit stop. Beautiful overlook. One of the things we read to do both in the state park and in the national park was drive along these scenic roads, and right now we're still in the state park. When I first read that, I thought, I don't know, the thing to do, drive on the road, but they are absolutely beautiful. The views are incredible. It's different around every curve. We're just trying to soak up every moment we have here in Big Bend, because it is a very special place. We are now in Big Bend National Park. Beautiful.
Vast.
Rugged.
Expansive.
Rough.
You win.
We have seen a lot of interesting road signs. We've seen signs for loose sand and loose livestock.
And
falling rocks, but we just saw a bear sign. And I think because it's way more foresty in this area, I'm guessing. So I was thinking that at the state park. I thought, I don't think bears live like in the desert, but here, well, at least like right up on the mountain, way more foresty than any other area we've been. And seeing a bear in the wild is unfortunately on the bucket list. I don't know why it's on the bucket list. Someone is to blame.
Come on, bears!
We just got to the visitor center, but we're getting back in the car. Uh-oh, in the car?
Yes.
Oh. Okay, there's like a huge hornet or wasp or something. We just got to the visitor center. As soon as we got out, this old gentleman, I might not have to call him old, he's an old guy, told us he saw a black bear little cub playing with a cone. So we're gonna head back over there because there was a bear sighting. So we're gonna see if we can see this bear. Either that or he wanted our parking spot and needed us to move or something. We're on the hunt for a bear. Not literally, we're trying to find a bear. Here, bear. Don't see any movement so far where the bear sighting was. Visitor Center take 2. Big Bend National Park is very different than the state park. We didn't see anybody at the state park. It was very primitive. It felt very
Rugged.
You could just sense that, like, okay, there's no one else around here. If something goes wrong, like, we're out of luck. And And maybe that's, I'm sure there's, I mean, this park is 1,200 square miles. There's definitely sections of this park that are like this, but there are a lot of cars and a lot of people here.
Too many people, not enough bear sightings.
Too many people, not enough bears?
Yeah.
That's a good shirt.
Yeah. I feel like we're gonna see a bear, which makes me very nervous. But for some reason, I think because someone saw one, we asked the ranger and he said, oh yeah, there's a lot of bears. We asked for the best chance to see one and he said this very trail. It makes me really nervous. I kind of have the sense that like we're being watched, but also very excited.
We just met some friends from Germany. They looked like they were not having a good time. They said, bring water, there's no shade. We do have water with us, but they looked like they were struggling and they did not see bears. So it's not looking good for us, but we're gonna be on the lookout. You see something?
It's either a really dark shadow. I don't know. The problem is the sun, like the elements are so intense that I feel like I could make any shadow appear in my mind. I could convince myself that it was a bear. They haven't moved, but also I don't blame them because I feel like it's so sweltering that if you found some shade, it would be really easy to be still. But let me reenact Greg's bear call.
Well, we're turning around. We hiked down for 40 minutes. We'll let you know how long it takes to get back up. Everybody that we saw hiking back up looked like they were about to die. So we'll check back in with you soon. And we're back. 40 minutes down, 20 minutes coming up. We were moving going up, but more than our speed going up was our speed going down. We were going at what I like to call influencer slow. Taking pictures, videoing, stopping, looking for bears, going very slow and coming back up. We just walked.
Listen to this. I don't get too crazy. Oh, woo! We earned this. It tastes like Texas summer.
We're on the Scenic Drive, 30 miles to the canyon. That's crazy, 30 miles inside of the park.
This is like a teeny tiny part of it.
As it turns out, the Scenic Drive is just that, extremely scenic. And this canyon that we're driving towards, how many feet tall would you estimate that to be?
Wow. Gosh, I don't know. I have no idea.
I have no idea. That's pretty extremely tall. 1,000 feet?
Yeah. First thoughts on arriving to the Santa Elena Canyon trailhead. Wow. I read online this was several people's favorite thing in the entire area of Big Bend, and I can see why. We haven't even started the hike yet.
The canyon is much bigger than I anticipated. I heard it was kind of a must-see, but seeing it up close in person, I think this is the single most impressive thing we have seen on this trip so far, which is saying a lot because we have seen some amazing things. Also impressive and oppressive, the heat. 105. Not a good time to be here. Have we said that? Have we said this is not a good time to be here? It's not, but look.
Rafting through the Santa Elena Canyon is actually on my official bucket list. Unfortunately, this is the Santa Elena Canyon, and this is the white water rafting that goes through it. This is the Rio Grande behind me, and it is entirely dry and crusty, kind of like my skin.
This has to be one of the most awesome things we have ever seen. That awesome is just the word that comes to mind. To be between the canyon walls on the border of the United States and Mexico. Oh man. This is it for me. This, being in nature, being in bucket list destinations like this, I don't know, just moving, hiking, fishing, being outdoors, camping, getting outside, kind of unplugging, going to places that don't have cell phone service. That is where we are meant to be. There's just something, I don't know, this whole time we've been down here at Big Bend, I keep telling Hillary, like, this is it. Like, this is what we're destined to do. This is what we're made for. This is where we were meant to be. And this is where you are meant to be. Here at Big Bend National Park in Santa Elena. If it's not on your bucket list, put it on there and get here. I don't care where you live. This is worth the trip. At this point in the day, I don't even know if what we've just done is going to be the most interesting thing that we will do today or not.
That feels terrifying.
The place we're gonna sleep tonight is very interesting, very remote. I'm probably more, I wouldn't say nervous.
Are you more nervous about where we're gonna sleep tonight or seeing a bear?
Sleeping tonight. I'm more nervous about tonight's toilet situation than I am a bear possibility.
Now we are somewhere lost between Alpine and Big Bend. The good news is you kind of come here to get lost. The bad news is once you get lost, there's really no way to find yourself because there's not even the teeniest hint of cell phone reception. We do have GPS coordinates of where we'll be staying tonight. Unfortunately, those didn't really help us much. So we have turned down the Cowboy Mining Road. We were told take a right turn there and you'll end up at your accommodations for the night. So here goes nothing. Here is to pursuing your bucket list without holding back.
I have a feeling this is one of those things that looked really great on Airbnb, sounded like a good idea, but maybe was not. We've stayed in a lot of interesting places over the years. Never anything like this before. Never again anything like this before.
Sometimes I book us really interesting places. Wow.
Welcome home.
Hello?
Yeah. How's it look?
Well, there's no dead bodies inside. Seems like a bad idea. Seems like a bad idea.
Why?
It's really remote and really hot in there. My eyes are just like crying from the sun.
From the sun?
The sun is very, very intense.
I'll give you some shade.
Wow. This might be the strangest place we've ever slept, and we've slept at a lot of strange places. Now for the grand tour we promised you earlier. Now what do we mean by completely off the grid? What that means here is no water, no electricity, no cell phone signal, no lights for I don't know how many miles, and no signs of other human life. Let's look inside. Also may mean no airflow. A yurt seems well insulated, which in winter weather seems awesome. But when it's 105 outside, insulation and like being closed in seems like it might go bad real quick. Here we have our junk pile. Now the interesting thing is we have our shower water, our drinking water. The Airbnb host actually contacted us on the way here and asked us to replace the entire bed. So we're the first ones to use this. The rest of our camping equipment, there is a seating area over here. It's actually quite spacious. I mean, I'm not a big person, but it does feel a lot roomier than our little tiny 2-person tent. And then over here, we have an airbed that apparently is no longer holding air, which is why we brought the replacement. It comes with like blankets. I don't think we'll be needing those. We packed our own sheets and pillowcases, but under the airbed is like a bed frame thing. So it's actually pretty darn homey in here. Now the listing said that there were some solar lights. I don't know if we're gonna want those or not because we really want to see the stars, but I am curious just how dark it's gonna get in a little bit. Now, the TP toilets. The truth is, we haven't even looked in here yet.
I'm afraid to. Double insulation. Woo. Wow. A TP toilet. Okay.
Okay. There's instructions. I don't know if I've ever seen instructions for a toilet. I'm a little scared to look inside. Should I?
Sure.
You're supposed to take all of your waste, including human waste, so that there's really no trace left behind. But do we trust the previous guests?
Let's find out.
Okay. Wow! That's cool.
Is it?
Yeah. So there's like a separate spot for liquids and solids. It's actually pretty clean. It seems a little dusty in here, but there really are instructions. And part of those instructions are to dump like a container of sawdust before and after solids. So I think that's why it's dusty. I mean, that's just like a bench. Okay, TP toilet. And, well, I guess sometimes in terms of square footage, you know, they list the square footage of Airbnbs. This seems like miles and miles and miles for us to explore.
It's been a really long time since we've just sat and watched the sunset like this. And even longer since we've done a sunset review.
Yep.
It's not quite over yet. I feel like there's definitely still a lot of setting left to do in terms of
sky.
What do you give this?
That's a perfect 10.
That's a perfect 10. And if you've been following for any amount of time, you know we don't give out 10s easily. The distance, it went right in between these two like mountains. There are the perfect amount of clouds, just enough to give it color and pop and vibrance, but not too much to obscure it. There's an owl. That's a 10. Big Bend was truly an unforgettable experience. Now let us be clear. Would we recommend staying in a yurt near Big Bend in the middle of summer? Absolutely not. But what we do recommend is saying yes to adventures and trying new things. All too often, we hold ourselves back by creating excuses for why we shouldn't do something. And while summer is definitely not the best time to visit Big Bend, we are so incredibly glad that we did. Our greatest memories in life are never whenever we are snuggled up under a blanket, all comfy at home. Our greatest memories come from getting outside, trying new things, and saying yes to adventures. If there's an echo in the canyon. Hello! What? That's crazy. Hello! Other people doing it back. Wow. That's so cool. That's so cool. It's not often the Airbnb host asks you to bring a replacement mattress. This is definitely a first. This whole trip is a trip of firsts. Let's see how long it takes me to pump this up. I'm gonna guess like half an hour with this hand pump because it's a big mattress and a small pump. Not going well so far.
You're looking good. Looking real good.
23 7/8 inches to go.
This is exhausting. Wow.
A little more, please.